This week on Granite State Challenge, the team from Hopkinton High School takes on the team from Laconia High School. Only one team will advance. Granite State Challenge starts now.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by NEA New Hampshire, Safety Insurance, DF Richard Energy, HRCU, and viewers like you. Thank you. Get ready. It's time for New Hampshire high schools to match wits in a high-stakes scholastic showdown. It's time for Granite State Challenge. Here's your host, John Cannon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Granite State Challenge. This week, we have our fourth and final quarterfinal match. 3 teams have already made their way to the Final Four. Let's see who's going to round out the field. We've got 2 teams with us this week. Let's introduce them to you. First up, the team from Hopkinton High School.
Hi, I'm Adam. I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Colton. I'm also a senior.
Hi, I'm Conrad. I'm also a senior.
Hey, I'm Jackson. I'm a senior.
The alternates are Flo and Finn, and the coach is social studies teacher Liam Callahan, and that's the team from Hopkinton High School. Facing off against them this week is the team from Laconia High School.
Hi, I'm Brody, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Reed. I'm a senior.
I'm James. I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a senior.
The alternates for the team are Ethan and Brady, and the coaches are social studies teacher Taylor Osborne, math teacher Susan Finch, and health and wellness teacher Keith Ball, and that's the team from Laconia High School. Those are our teams this week, but we would be remiss if we did not also introduce our beloved judge. Back with us again is Anne Belanger. All right, teams, introductions are out of the way. Go ahead and grab those signaling devices. We're going to jump right into the game. We play Granite State Challenge in 4 rounds, and in round 1, we're going to do some 10-point toss-up questions. So Hopkinton and Laconia, good luck. Here we go. In 1972, the U.S. gave China a pair of musk ox in exchange for Ling Ling and Sing Sing. What were Ling Ling and Sing Sing? Colton of Hopkinton?
Pandas.
Yes. Director Alfred Hitchcock used watered-down chocolate syrup for blood in the shower scene in this horror movie. Brody of Laconia?
The Shining.
Sorry, no. Hopkinton. Colton?
Psycho.
Psycho is right. If you have ESP, you might already have known what this question was going to be. What does the acronym ESP stand for? Stands for Extra Sensory Perception. President Herbert Hoover never promised one of these for every pot during his 1928 campaign for president, although his Democratic opponents in the 1932 campaign for president tried to say he did. Colton of Hopkinton.
A meal.
Sorry, nope. You were on the right track. He never promised a chicken in every pot. Songwriters Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez more than likely didn't want to let them go when they won an Oscar and a Grammy for a song they wrote for this movie. You don't want to let it go in Frozen. In addition to her novels My Sister's Keeper, Salem Falls, and Wish You Were Here, this author, who makes her home in Hanover, New Hampshire, has also written several issues of Wonder Woman for Marvel Comics. New Hampshire author Jodi Picoult. All right, teams, the next question is a civics question, and it is coming to you on your monitors. Take a look.
Hey everyone, I'm Nick Capodice. I'm the co-host of Civics 101, NHPR's podcast refresher course on the basics of how our democracy works. And we've got some civics questions to stretch your civics brain a little bit, which you can also do at any time by listening to our show at civics101podcast.org. All right, here we go. The last article of the Constitution outlines the criteria for ratification of the Constitution. Which article is that?
Brody of Laconia.
The 5th.
Sorry, no. Hopkinton? Colton?
The 7th.
It is the 7th, yes. Teams, web pages are written in HTML. What does the acronym HTML stand for? Adam of Hopkinton.
Hypertext Markup Language.
That's right. What is the name of the town in the 1957 book, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, that the Grinch stole Christmas from? Reed of Laconia.
Whoville.
That's right. The flag for this New England state features 13 gold stars in anchor and the state motto, Hope. Reed of Laconia.
Rhode Island.
That's right. The Volstead Act, passed by the 66th Congress in 1919, was also known as the National Prohibition Act and was designed to enforce this amendment to the U.S. Constitution. James of Laconia.
18.
Yes. In 2023, music by Queen Latifah, Daddy Yankee, John Lennon, Mariah Carey, and the theme music to this video game, featuring two brothers and a princess, was added to the Smithsonian's National Recording Registry. James of Laconia.
Mario Brothers.
Sure, we'll give you that, Super Mario Brothers. All right, teams, for this next question, go ahead and take a look at your monitors. Unlike seals, these pinnipeds have external ear flaps and large flippers that they use to walk on land. Reed of Laconia.
Walruses.
Sorry, nope. Hopkinton. Jackson.
Sea lions.
It is a sea lion, yes. Roy Hinckley was the name of the professor on this sitcom about 7 castaways that included a movie star and a millionaire and his wife. Alex of Laconia.
Gilligan's Island.
That's right. Horripilation is the medical term for this involuntary reaction to cold weather, which is also the title of a series of horror novels for kids by R.L. Stein. James of Laconia.
Goosebumps.
That's right. All right, teams, for our next question, I turn your attention to your monitors for a video question. Take a look.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jean Benoit, Professor Emeritus at the University of New Hampshire in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. My teaching and research focus on geotechnical engineering, geoenvironmental engineering, and geological hazards. One of the projects I worked on dealt with the stabilization of the century-old architectural landmark in Italy. What is this landmark?
Brody of Laconia.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa.
It is the Leaning Tower of Pisa, yes. In his 1709 An Essay on Criticism, Alexander Pope said a little of this was a dangerous thing. Colton of Hopkinton.
Freedom.
Sorry, no. Laconia? Brody?
Hope.
Sorry, no. He said a little bit of learning was a dangerous thing. All right, teams, you may want pencil and paper for this next question. What comes next in this sequence? 2, 3, 5, 8, 12, 17, 23. Brody of Laconia.
40.
Sorry, no. Hopkinton. Adam?
29.
Close. 30. It was 30. This singer-songwriter, known for the songs Peggy Sue, That'll Be the Day, and It's So Easy to Fall in Love, tragically died in a plane crash in 1959 when he was only 22 years old. Adam of Hopkinton.
Buddy Holly.
He is the one. And that sound ends the round, and it looks like we got a tight match with Laconia, with a slight lead by a score of 70-60. All right, teams, before we jump into round 2, we're going to take a pause here and get to know each other a little bit. We'll get to know the teams from both Hopkinton and Laconia, starting with the squad from Hopkinton High School. Hopkinton High School is part of a middle high school. The high school itself has about 300 students in it in Hopkinton, New Hampshire, and they're led by senior captain Adam, who is a musician, played the same instrument in the band, jazz band, and various musicals for 8 years. What is that instrument?
Flute.
It is the flute. So how old were you when you started playing the flute?
I think I was 9. I was in 4th grade.
Okay, and so you've been playing in all of these different bands. How many flute players do you have in your band right now?
We have 3.
3.
Small band.
Okay, so small band, one of 3 flautists, and I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you if you're the best because there's another player on the team that also plays the flute, right?
Yes, our alternate Flo also plays flute.
All right, so Flo, who was on last time you guys played, she also plays the flute. So, all right, well, you got to have the flute section if you're going to have a band, right? All right, joining him is Colton, and Colton, we've talked a little bit a few times about your interest in politics and so forth. But you've got something really cool that you've been doing politically in your free time.
Yeah, so that's like redistricting and map making online.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of nerdy, but I like to do it in my spare time. So there's this great program called Dave's Redistricting Tool,
Okay.
where you can look at all the different states in the country on the state legislative and congressional levels, and you can kind of play around with the districts, redraw the lines based on the counties and the precincts. It's actually really fun for me to do in my
Yeah,
spare time.
I don't think that's nerdy at all. I think it's pretty great because politics plus geography, I'll take it. All right, Conrad, next up on the team. You know, you have a goal to climb Mount Washington, which, you know, many New Hampshireites do, but there's something unique about the way you want to do it. Tell us.
I want to do it barefoot.
You want to do it barefoot. Now, why barefoot?
I don't really know. I just, it's easier for me to run and walk without shoes. And I don't know, I feel like it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know many people who have done that. You very well could be the first. Do you know if you would be the first?
No, I know some other guy who did it.
All right, so maybe the second. Still
Yeah.
not bad. All right,
Second's pretty
well,
cool.
you know, good luck. Yeah, I think that's amazing. All right, and rounding out the team is Jackson doing something else also amazing. You get to do a school exchange trip. Where?
In Lindau, Germany.
Lindau, Germany. Okay, so this is a part of a school program, and is there another school in Germany that you are affiliated with?
Yes, there is.
All right, so this is like a sister school type situation. How long are you going to be there?
So we're gonna get there in late June. Actually, after I and a couple of us have graduated, and we're gonna be there in Germany for about 2 to 3 weeks.
Hey, great weather. Staying with a host family and everything?
Yes,
All right, well, hey, immerse yourself in that culture, eat some good food, and be safe, all right? All right, that's your team from Hopkinton High School. All right, next up, we're going to meet with the team from Laconia High School up in the Lakes region of New Hampshire. In Laconia, about 550 students enrolled in Laconia High School. And the team here is led by senior captain Brody, who was in a talent show. Weren't just in the talent show, you won the talent show.
Yes.
What were you doing in this talent show?
So I talked to my physics teacher and asked her if she wanted to do the talent show with me, and she was very excited about it. So we put together some somewhat dangerous acts. We had some fire, and then our culminating event was she lied in between 2 beds of nails, and we put a cinder block on top of her, which I broke with a sledgehammer.
And was she okay?
Just a minor cut, but she's still going.
Just a minor cut. Excellent. All right, excellent. Well, that's a good thing. Next up on the team is Reed, who last time you were on the show, we talked about your fandom of racing, but that's not the only thing you're a fan of. What else?
I'm a big fan of soccer.
Okay, so do you play soccer?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so are you on, presumably Laconia High School has a soccer team.
Yes.
You play on any other teams?
I play on a futsal team on the weekends.
All right, and do you follow any professional soccer teams, the U.S. or abroad?
Yeah, I'm a big Chelsea fan.
All right, so next time you're over in London, you're going to get to see a Chelsea game.
Yes, I am.
All right, excellent, fantastic. Next up on the team is James, who isn't just a member of the Granite State Challenge team, you're also the member of a different academic team.
Yeah, me and Brody actually are the co-captains in the math team, and then Miss Finch, our coach, she's the leader of that.
Yeah.
And this year, we've done 4 out of the 5 meets, and we're in first place.
You're first place after 4 meets going into the final meet of the year. All right, well, good luck. I'm cheering for you.
Thank you.
All right. And then, you know, I guess it's a little too late to cheer for Alex, but 2 years ago, you were on a state championship team.
Yes, I did. We won the state championship 12-10 against one of our rivals.
In what sport?
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse. And who was the rival that you played in that game?
Hopkinton.
Ooh, so, all right. So we've got a bit of a rematch here between Laconia and Hopkinton. It's a tight match here, so that's just how we like it. That is your team from Laconia High School. All right, so we've done the interviews. Now, teams, we're going to jump right into round 2. Round 2 is our 3 strikes and you're out round. You've played this once before, but I'll remind you how it goes. In this round, each team gets 10 questions, and we go player by player, one at a time down the line until all 10 questions are asked or until 3 incorrect responses or 3 strikes, and you are out. As a reminder, each team has 3 passes, so you could pass it to the person next to you. And there's a little bit of a clue to each question in the previous question. So we'll do this alphabetically. Hopkinton, that means we're starting with you. And Adam, this is your question. The movie Cabaret was directed by this famous choreographer, often associated with the use of jazz hands in his dances.
Don't know.
It is Bob Fosse. Colton, Diane Fossey studied these primates in Rwanda.
Gorillas.
That's right. Conrad, this famous gorilla who was the subject of a children's book had a kitten named All Ball and a sign language vocabulary of hundreds of words.
Ivan.
It is Coco. Jackson, the 2017 animated movie Coco was inspired by this holiday celebrated on November 1st or 2nd.
Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead is right. Adam, this actor played English teacher John Keating in the 1989 movie Dead Poet Society.
Pass.
Pass.
Robin Williams.
That is correct. Jackson, back to you. Robin Hood Men in Tights was a 1993 parody of the Robin Hood legend, directed by this legendary producer, writer, and director, also known for the films Spaceballs and Blazing Saddles.
Monty Python.
Sorry, it's Mel Brooks. And is that the third strike? All right, and that ends your round. All right, Laconia, we turn our attention to you. Same drill. Brody, this is your question. Elizabeth Moss played President Jeb Bartlett's youngest daughter in the series The West Wing. Before the fictional Jeb Bartlett became president, he was the governor of this state.
New York.
Sorry, it's New Hampshire. Reed, she was the first woman elected governor of New Hampshire.
Maggie Hassan.
Sorry, it's Jean Shaheen. James, actor America Ferrera played Carmen Lowell in the 2005 movie Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, which tells the story of four friends and the strange pair of jeans that fits them all, even though they are all different sizes. She more recently played a mom in this 2023 movie about a doll.
The Barbie movie?
Yeah, we'll give you that, Barbie. Alex, Greta Gerwig, who directed Barbie, also directed this movie about the March sisters.
Pass.
Brody?
Hidden Figures.
Sorry, it's Little Women. Is that the third strike? And that ends your round. All right. Not much movement after round two, so we're going to roll into round three. And in round three, our 60-second round, I'd like to invite the alternates to come on up and join your teams at the podiums. In the 60-second round, each team gets 10 questions in a category. You can work together, talk as a team. We do take the captain's answer as the team answer. We'll give you 10 points for each correct response and a bonus of 10 points if you get all 10 correct. And even though it's a tight match, Laconia trailing by just 10, you get to select first from these categories. Lend a hand, rain, rain, go away, and it ends how it starts.
It ends how it starts.
It ends how it starts. All right, Brody, you can talk to your team. I'll take your answer as the team answer. In this category, the answers to all of the following will be words that begin and end in the same letter. Okay? 60 seconds. Start the clock. Neil Young's song that told of a National Guard killing of 4 students at Kent State in 1970.
Pass.
Is Ohio. Organ that lets you see.
Eyes.
Eyes.
We'll take that. A bluish color and a Europop band known for the 1997 song Barbie Girl.
Pass.
It's Aqua. You can pair this with circumstance.
Pump.
Yes. Greeting and farewell in Hawaii.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Yes. A traveler, a name for a dog, a Mars vehicle, and part of the name of a child's game.
Rover.
Yes. This respiratory illness can be exacerbated by pollution.
Asthma.
Yes. You will find paintings, artifacts, and dinosaur bones in one of these.
Museum.
Yes. Magical incantation and title of a 1982 song by the Steve Miller Band.
Pass.
Abracadabra. City in Arizona or where you fly your stars and stripes. Sorry, I didn't quite get it in time. It was Flagstaff, and at the end of your round, counting them up, 6 out of 10 on your 60-second round. All right, good work, Laconia. Hopkinton, we turn to you. Adam, you could talk to your team, but you have the choice of lend a hand or rain, rain, go away.
Lend a hand, please.
Lend a hand. Okay. In this category, the following will all be related to the word hands. Okay? So, Adam, you could talk to your team. 60 seconds. Start the clock. This U.S. president was so good looking, he was known as Handsome Frank.
JFK.
It's Franklin Pierce. This 1963 Beatles song was the first U.S. #1 song.
I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Yes. This Baroque composer is known for his water music.
Handel.
Yes. Sandy and Danny danced to the Sha Na Na song Born to Hand Jive in this 1978 movie.
Grease.
Grease.
Yes. This dystopian novel by Margaret Atwood is set in the
Handmaid's Tale.
Yes. This idiom means that something bad is more than likely to happen.
Pass.
His handwriting's on the wall. This is what you might call an insincere compliment.
Backhanded.
Yes. This team sport features 7 players on each side
Handball.
and no net. Say it again.
Handball.
Yes. You might find yourself wearing these if you are arrested.
Handcuffs.
Yes. This is a fancy piece of cloth you can use to blow your nose.
Handkerchief.
Yes. Handkerchief is right. And 8 out of 10 on your rounds. All right, thank you, alternates. You can go ahead and take your seats. Things remaining tight after round 3. We're going to go into round 4. In round 4, we're going to pick back up with our toss-up questions, but we're going to double the point value to 20 points, and we'll be deducting 20 points for incorrect responses. So play smart and play strategic. Hopkinton and Laconia, here we go. In 2023, Elton John won an Emmy for his TV special, Elton John Live, Farewell from Dodger Stadium, making him the 19th EGOT winner. An EGOT is an acronym for these 4 awards. James of Laconia.
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony.
Yes. All right, teams, our next question is our Unitil Power question. It's worth double the points, so a 40-point toss-up question coming to you live on your monitors. Take a look.
Professor Utonium created and was the father of Blossom, Buttercup, and Bubbles in this animated series.
James of Laconia.
The Powerpuff Girls?
That's right. This species of dog, also known as the gray ghost, was a favorite subject of the photographer William Wegman, who often dressed and posed them in human clothing. We're looking for the Weimaraner on there. This 3,165-foot peak with a bare rocky summit is the highest mountain in Cheshire County, New Hampshire, and is one of the most frequently climbed mountains in the world. Adam of Hopkinton.
Monadnock.
That's right. This 1928 orchestral piece by French composer Maurice Ravel was commissioned by Russian dancer Ida Rubinstein. The English ice dancing pair Torvill and Dean won the Olympic gold medal in 1984 in Sarajevo, performing to the piece. That piece is called Bolero. Elon Musk changed the name of this social media platform to X in 2023. James of Laconia.
Twitter.
Yes. Cat Stevens' song Father and Son was used in the 2017 movie Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 during the funeral of this character. Conrad of Hopkinton.
Yondu.
That's right. In Italian, the name of this coffee-flavored dessert made with ladyfingers and mascarpone translates to pick me up. James of Laconia.
Tiramisu.
That's right. This could be a region of the Atlantic Ocean near the equator known for its still waters and windless weather, or a period of stagnation or inactivity. Looking for the doldrums there. This man served as Ronald Reagan's vice president from 1981 to 1989. Before that, he served as director of the CIA, U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, and as a U.S. congressman from Texas. Colton of Hopkinton.
George H.W. Bush.
He's the one. If you visit this poet's grave at the Old First Church Cemetery in Bennington, Vermont, you will see the epitaph, "I had a lover's quarrel with the world," carved on it. Brody of Laconia.
Frost.
Robert Frost is right. All right, teams, for the next question, go ahead and take a look at your monitors. You are looking at a multi-sport athlete and member of the Sac and Fox Nation. In 1912, he became the first Native American to win an Olympic medal. In fact, he won 2, one in the pentathlon and one in the decathlon. He also played professional football, baseball, and basketball. Jackson of Hopkinton.
Jim Thorpe.
Yes. This character in a novel by Daniel Defoe was marooned for 28 years, 2 months, and 19 days. As Robinson Crusoe. This performer's known for the songs like I Feel Good, Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, and Get Up Off of That Thing, is also known as the hardest working man in show business and the godfather of soul. Adam of Hopkinton.
James Brown.
Yes. This peninsula includes parts of Spain, Portugal, Andorra, Gibraltar, and a little bit of France. James of Laconia.
Iberian.
Yes. What style of dance is based on 5 basic positions? Adam of Hopkinton.
Ballet.
Yes. The flashy male bird in this species is called a peacock. What is the less flashy female called? Adam of Hopkinton.
Peahen.
Peahen is right. And that sound ends the game, and a close match, a great match, but Hopkinton pulling it out at the end by a score of 310 to 280. All right. Excellent match, teams. Excellent match. Hopkinton, good luck. Congratulations on a great win. We'll see you in a couple of weeks when you take on Plymouth High School. And Laconia, tough loss to a good team, but a well-played match, a really enjoyable match to watch. I know that the folks at home had fun watching it. Hope you had fun playing it. We had fun having you here. We do hope you had fun. We hope you join us next week for our first semi-final match when the team from Merrimack High School takes on the team from Trinity High School. That'll do it for us this week on Granite State Challenge. And as I like to say, I learned something, and I hope you did as well. We'll see you next time.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by NEA New Hampshire, Safety Insurance, DF Richard Energy, HRCU, and viewers like you. Thank you. Studio support for Granite State Challenge is provided by Prue Oil and Propane.